Okay. We live?
Yep.
All right. Hello, welcome. I am Zach. I am going to be playing Doom Eternal, The Ancient Gods Part 1. I'm going to be playing it on Nightmare mode, as you normally would. So, yes, let's get started.
I actually don't think we have game audio.
Okay. I'll just keep going for now. All right. All right. I'm going to start off by skipping cutscenes and getting my arsenal ready.
Yeah, we do not.
Okay. I apologize for lack of commentary as this game can get a little intense. I don't know where this hell I might decide to wander off to. There they are. There we go. All right. So, as you could probably, do we have game audio?
No, it's very choppy. It's like we do not.
Okay.
Something's coming through, but it's. I don't even know how to describe it.
Hmm. So, this, I apologize for the lack of game audio, but this is the Ancient Gods Part 1. It is the first DLC that was released a few months, maybe like 5 or so months after the game was released, and was while it was generally well received, there were a number of people in the community who thought that the DLC was a little too difficult. But I think they're a little on to something, but I don't think it was anything too crazy though. Though I do think part two was a bit of an overcorrection. At least in my opinion. But no, this is still a fantastic DLC. Did we do we know what's causing the audio issues?
No, I have no idea. It's. I don't know how to describe what's happening. It's just there's like really loud, like static bursts that might be the game audio, but coming through really weird. Because we are getting something through, but it's not. It's not the game. Currently, the game audio is just really smooth. Like I have it basically muted.
Well, should say that I am playing this on a PS5 at 120 hertz. And let's just say that this game at a high frame rate does seem to really make a bit of a difference.
What the hell, man?
What?
I fixed it by telling. I told your audio source to deactivate while not showing, and that brought the audio back.
That's interesting. So these turret things are the first of 3 new enemies introduced to this DLC.
That's great. It worked for a moment.
Now it's not working.
Yeah, it's back to the.
Oh my god.
Are you serious? It started working for like 10 seconds.
Striking the runes and bombs.
It's currently fine.
Striking the spider or the snake.
So, one of the most important things to learn when playing this game is a thing called quick swapping, and you've been seeing me doing it with this weapon. It is called precision bullets. And essentially how it works is upon switch the what? It's it's not the quick swapping isn't exactly the easiest thing to explain, but essentially you're canceling out end lag of certain weapons by switching weapons quickly. Like with the rocket, the ballista, the super shotgun, etc. And it's one of the most efficient ways of keeping your DPS up while also preserving ammo.
So it looks like we can solve the audio issue for like 10 seconds at a time by telling it to, like,
Uh-huh.
by disabling it and reactivating it, basically.
I see. That's very interesting.
Yeah, honestly, I think it is the capture card. It's doing something, I'm not sure what. That's my guess.
I guess the question is whether it's you prefer just having it mute or constantly do that to have the continuous 10 seconds of the auto.
At the moment,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know what to do about this.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, currently it seems like the options are switch the capture card, which we have already started. Constantly refresh this whenever it goes wonky, or just no game audio.
These are the Marauders, and I hate them. They are horrible enemies. They are so annoying. Because you have to. While that was good, the thing is, you're basically playing a waiting game with them and hoping and praying they do what you want them to do. Because if they don't, they can just screw you. So by not doing that axe attack with the glowing green eyes. There we go. There we go. Ah, okay. Hmm. It's a shame that that's happening. I don't know why. Because I've never had any issues with this capture card before.
Yeah, you just started talking about it and caused the audio cut out again. Yeah, we got it for like a minute there. So I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm. So, any donations yet?
I do not believe so.
Mm-hmm.
It's been just at 10 turning the stream, so I wouldn't expect much.
Unfortunately, I think this is what we leave it as because
Alright.
game audio is really big in this game, but the better thing than no game is only game.
No audio, no.
Yeah.
Probably should take the
Yeah, the goal off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't. I yeah.
I mean, first time has happened, but again,
Right.
Luigi's Mansion in the last event. I wish that was so bad that I couldn't even hear it.
No, that's not great. Alright. It's your tech station, right? Technically. Oh. Strong enough. Yes, wonderful. Yeah, looks like we will commit to no game audio.
I mean, that's not the end of the world.
It's
Mm-hmm.
very much not ideal, but right, again, it is better than no game at all, and it's something.
But I know Red, you played some Doom games. You played Doom 2 with Rain.
Yeah, I played, Doom 1 and 2 and 64.
64 is great. I really like 64.
And 2016. 2016 was the first one I played, and it is my favorite of them. I haven't played Eternal yet, but I do want to.
It blows 2016 out of the water. But the thing about them is that they're both power fantasy games, but in different ways. Let me deal with Mr.
Yeah, I actually have Doom 2016, and the deluxe edition of Eternal or whatever that
Yeah,
is
this
the base
is the deluxe
game.
edition of Eternal.
But I have not had the time to play either of them. I played Eternal, or not Eternal, I played 2016 for like an hour at one point, and was like, okay, I can't continue playing this game right now. I don't have the time, and that's where it is.
No.
But I will get to that.
Doom 2016 Power Fantasy is just you're so easily overpowered. Oh god. But Eternal's Power Fantasy comes from earning the Power Fantasy. Like you're given a lot more tools, but enemies are stronger, they're harder.
Yeah, but I guess the game doesn't spoon feed you the massive level of destruction as easily. You have to work for it a little more.
Yes, there's a lot more skill to this game than 2016. But again, there is still a good amount of tech in this game that comes from 2016.
I know the
Like quick swapping, ballista boosting, or what was called Gauss boosting.
oh that's I know the ballista boosting, right? That's the ballista's the crossbow kind of looking thing, and you turn around. I love small movement tech like that. It's always really fun to be able to use. And in this game, it's gotten by firing your gun behind you to propel you forward. Like, come on, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, there is a lot of the same tech, but it like quick swapping in Doom 2016 was actually a lot more overpowered. But yeah, they did make buffs to enemies and some slight nerfs to you. like especially in ammo capacity. But now on like say, no, we're not doing Slayer Gates. I'm too tired to do Slayer Gates. And I didn't practice for them, so. But yeah, like the addition of the blood punch certainly is a nice addition. But yes, I do know, especially when Doom Eternal came out, there were a lot of people who were saying they prefer 2016. I can see why, and I respect that. But it depends on what it is. It's like, yeah, I think 2016 did some things better, and I get more enjoyable experience from it. Fair. Doom Eternal was too hard and bad. Skill issue.
I mean, you whenever you get a new game in a franchise, Doom 2016 was incredibly well received. Incredibly well received.
IGN gave it like a 7 though, but we're gonna ignore that.
The IGN just does things.
Like I said, we're going to ignore that.
But yeah, whenever you have a game that people love almost ubiquitously, right? You have the people who are just like, oh well, clearly it's not as good as the last one because the last one's just great, and the new one didn't meet their expectations in some way.
No, this one game met my expectations.
Right. Well, that's just something that some people will feel, right? They'll let themselves be overhyped, or they'll get really fixated on the fast side of the game, or it just somehow won't resonate as well. And that just
I do understand that the less open-ended level design isn't exactly something that people are a fan of with this one. Which I get, but I think that just the arsenal changes, the combat, just the overall combat changes and buffs make this game just like so much better.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's not totally to the same extent, but we talked about Ori in the Blind Forest and Ori in the Will of the Wisps before, and going from Blind Forest to Will of the Wisps was an incredible combat overhaul, and those were changes that were incredibly well received by the community. Sounds like a very similar case here.
Yes,
which is always good when, especially when in a game like this, where how fluid combat feels is paramount to your experience. That's the entire point of playing this game, right? It's to feel like a badass and to be as fluid as you possibly can while doing it. And if you don't meet that, then why are you playing Doom?
Yeah, I would say the inclusion of the dash and the meat hook are like god tier additions.
Yeah, the dash in this game is something that I never expected to see in a game like this, but it fits, like in terms of helping you to get in and out of combat really quickly. And right, the meat hook. Hey yo, look, I'm gonna grapple you from halfway across the stage. You're gonna die now.
Well, they actually did originally intend the meat hook to be enemy comes to you, but they were like, yeah, but movement.
Yeah, the fact that you move during that animation is really good.
Yeah, so they thought that was the better option. But like high level battle mode play, just so much of your arsenal, including beat boosting, is virtually required to stand a chance. Which is really cool because you can get some really great stuff.
Also, gotta say, I did not realize there were underwater segments.
Yes, they
Yeah,
added
I
swimming to
know that.
this game.
Yeah, I really did not know about
I
that.
actually did get soft locked here when the DLC released, unfortunately. The game wouldn't take me out of my swimming state,
Oh,
so I had to completely reset. That was not very fun.
so you're just in here while technically swimming.
Yeah.
Hey, enemies! I'm a meatbag. Come punch me. I know plenty of games use glitches like that to their advantage, like Sekiro, Subnautica, where like you are in the air or in the water in the wrong one, and it gives you some movement options that you otherwise would not have.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like in here it just makes you helpless against the enemies, and you can't do anything.
No, like I just couldn't really move or progress or do anything, so that was
Oh,
the
yeah.
problem. But yeah,
Gotcha.
I even sent it to Bethesda support on Twitter, and they were like, "Duh, I don't know. I don't know. You might have to reset, bro. Sorry."
Well, good thing that you were
They
not
did.
very far in.
Yeah, I got this far. Um, um. Oh yeah. One thing that I do think was necessary, they did very much nerf the chainsaw in Eternal, while giving it somewhat of a buff. In 2016, it was strictly ammo and fuel based. Here, it's a little bit more simplified,
How?
though. All right, so in 2016, the chainsaw would run off of, I think, 6 pips, 5 or 6 pips,
I know
and
for
depending
the
on
refuel.
for your ammo, and it would just be an insta kill to anything that would do that. But here, but like it would depend on the enemy. Like very high level enemies would be 6, etc. And it was mostly meant as an animal. Okay.
Yeah, in 2016 it was its only purpose was to just, hey, I'm going to instantly refill all of my ammo.
But here, that's the literal purpose of it. Like you can get up to 3 pips, which will kill any heavies. You can't kill super heavies anymore with it, but it will kill a heavy with 3. And once you're out of pips, it runs on a cooldown. So it does refill.
Ooh. Nice. Right, and that was not a feature in 2016 whatsoever. You're out, you're out.
Yep.
Something you just showed there really clearly was how consistent enemy spawns are in this game.
Oh yeah,
And
they
I know
are very consistent.
I've seen a couple. I think I've seen the IGN speedrunning or devs react to speedrunners. As my only experience seeing Doom speedruns, and like.
Well, Marty and Hugo saw the any % run, which is a completely different beast.
But yeah, it's the prediction that people are able to do where it's you time RPGs and stuff to land exactly as the enemy spawns is just incredible.
Yes.
What game?
Yeah, they also added some new enemy. Fun fact, the Prowler actually originated in 2016 as a multiplayer demon.
Like a multiplayer exclusive demon?
Yes.
And then added into the base game here.
Added in Doom Eternal, yes.
That's fun.
So re-implemented some classic Doom enemies that weren't in 2016, the rapid fronts.
Yeah. The addition of weak points was a neat touch.
forget, is the art file bad?
Yes. They're not bad. It depends on how they're used.
I have to see it really clearly here, but I know they put a ton of work into those like disfigurable entities.
Yeah,
where you get the chunks flying off everywhere.
Yeah, destructible demons.
Mm-hmm. I'm not the.
I like how it looks on the barons.
Yeah, I agree with this.
I know, right? For the really tanky enemies, you can really see where you will them down to the bone. Yeah, before
Well,
they
it gives
die.
you an idea of how much health they have.
Mm-hmm. Icon of Sin is this game, right?
Yeah.
So my younger brother played Eternal on release, and so I watched him play a bit of it. And I know I was around for that boss fight, and that really showcased the destructible stuff really well.
Yes.
I mean, you don't get much bigger in terms of demons than that one. Physically, at least.
Yeah.
Not sure why I didn't think to bring it up earlier, at least in regards to you and Doom, but ever played this game called Ultra Kill?
No, but it is very fitting for who we're raising money for.
Yeah, I played Ultra Kill, and it's a fantastic game.
Well, Friday's the person to talk
Right.
about that. Okay. All right, that is level 1 done. On to the blood swamps.
Yeah, I played through Ultra Kill once, and
I've heard it's good.
Friday considers himself mediocre at the game, and he still said it was painful watching me play it.
Oh, that is funny.
At some point, that harkens back to what we were saying about Noida. Like, oh yeah, look, you have 150 hours in the game, yet you're garbage.
Well, hold on, let's see. I got 50 hours plus 504.
Yeah, like, Ultra Kill has like a huge skill ceiling.
People do crazy stuff in any game, but Ultra Kill, they made fast, frenetic, a lot of reasons why people like games like this. And, a huge skill ceiling on people to do some crazy things. When you really just make the base gameplay in a game really fun, the people end up doing awesome things with it. Like, you make momentum really easy to conserve. You make a combat gameplay loop that encourages people to really get better at it and have fun while doing it and be creative. And you get a game like Ultra Kill.
Okay, buddy.
He's just springing at you. Go away. Not today.
There's some debates between Ultra Kill and Doom Eternal in terms of like skill levels, but I don't know if about Doom Eternal to really say anything on that.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, that works. Okay, not great.
Just one random guy left. Maybe not.
Yeah, I imagine when I get around to this game, it'll probably look like I'm playing 2016.
Yeah. Yeah. They did add weapon binds to console, which is really nice.
So is that specific weapons on like the D-pad or something?
You can put them on anything.
Yeah.
And this is the game I primarily utilize the back buttons for, like back left for jumping, back right for weapon switching, the weapon wheel.
Right. Yeah, having having additional buttons in this game, it doesn't help in every game, but in this game,
Very much so.
right. Especially when you really want to quickly swap between certain weapons in combat.
Why did
So
you guys
frequently.
do that?
Having jump on like triggers or back buttons makes a lot of sense, especially with shooters. But it's almost
Yes.
just
It was very
so
hard to get
used
used
to-
to. It was very hard to get used to.
yeah, so used to like face buttons that like I can do it. I played Wolfenstein, Return to Castle Wolfenstein on original Xbox, and that used I think the left trigger to jump. Not a shooter, but I played through the Ape Escape games, and they used the triggers to jump.
My first experience with Terraria was actually on console. I used left trigger to jump. It's even now, left trigger to jump, depending on the game, is something I use like in Smash. Like my control scheme is left trigger to jump.
I use Y to jump on the X and Y to jump, and L sometimes.
Yeah, I don't use X and Y. I just never really changed Smash's controls.
If I wanted to claw in Smash, I would use a face button to jump, but not Smash.
Yeah, I mean,
Not for me. Not for me on a pro controller.
Hmm.
Couldn't
I
be
mostly
hot.
play with the GameCube. So.
Yeah, I played Smash at like Evan's house like when we were younger, but not I didn't actually own Smash Brothers until the Switch, and I had it like right when it came out. I was just like, you know what? I have a Switch. Time for me to play this game and like get good at it. How good I got is debatable, but
I'm not great at Smash.
you're at least good at Doom though.
Mm,
Presumably Resident Evil, presumably.
yeah, I'm not bad. I am not dealing with a buff marauder. Good lord. Just take a BFG to the face and call it a night.
Yeah.
When it comes to Smash, I'd say I'm good as a cat, like for casual players.
Yeah.
All right, and then you
Alright, here's the
go
introduction.
into in tournament.
Yeah,
Here's the
tournaments I just beat them up immediately.
Here's the introduction of the spirits, which I okay, hold on.
Oh, Real Colors. Thank you for the raid. A party of 2. Welcome back.
Yeah,
As you can see, we're playing Doom Eternal, playing the first part of the Ancient Gods DLC.
These are the spirits.
sorry about the lack of game audio. We couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, the a PlayStation setup is currently we figure that being able to see the game is better than nothing at all. So unfortunately, there's no game audio, but
Yeah,
It is
it's still a
unfortunate.
visual spectacle. So
It is unfortunate, but it happens.
still good to see you sticking around, Killers. He was helped spread the word in the last of it a lot.
oh, nice. But yeah, I remembered seeing them earlier in the stream today and was just like, oh hey, welcome back. Yeah, we're incredibly surprised at the fact that we raised $690 in the first day.
I know.
That is honestly like right. It's a meme number. It's a hilarious number to have like as this milestone right now. But
I mean, you take a look at the big goal that we have right now, which is simply to just match how good the previous stream was, right? The previous event, and
Yeah.
we can slow down considerably and still knock that out of the park.
Yeah, like things have slowed down, but it's late, so it makes sense. But
2 a.m.
It's 2:45.
yeah, like
Well, in about 14 minutes, we can all do a
2:46.
collective. And we can all do a collective. Oh boy, 3 a.m.
2:47.
No, I mean we can all do a collective. Oh boy, 3 a.m.
We're playing Doom at the funny hour.
Yeah, and like that number is also not accounting for like the ones that aren't showing up like on there because the actual number is 714.
Yeah, it's $24 higher, which I think was because the Streamlabs page just was not set up. It wasn't configured properly.
Yeah,
When
like
we
the,
went
the
live.
part of the stream, the animation and the donations didn't appear at all on stream. So
I think that was a problem with the application not doing the donation messages. But I don't think the application handles the writing of those, like the files to Harane's computer. I might be wrong about that. But regardless,
But yeah, like
it's even more money.
yeah, my point is
Money.
day one we're almost halfway to like half of what we had last year.
Which is insane.
That is insane. So the spirit enemies, okay, at the start, whenever they spawn at the start of a round or whenever, they buff a demon, and upon killing the demon, they appear. And when they emerge from the demon, and upon doing so, you have to use the microwave beam to kill them, which is probably a nod to Ghostbusters. But so how they are buffed essentially is
Focus up.
That's sighting
yeah, they're called tyrants, but yeah. There we go.
I don't care what you call it. He just needs to kill it.
Exactly.
demon means die.
It's red, big, and ugly, and I need to punch it.
So essentially the buffs that spirits give the demons are
The concern now. You don't think I'm ugly, do
Oh,
you?
I misspoke.
they buff them by essentially giving them nearly half damage reduction, inability to be faltered, weak points cannot be destroyed, and a speed buff.
Wow, so they really are just remove everything you usually use to exploit an enemy.
Well, I mean, it depends on the enemy. There are legitimately some demons that, because demons when possessed are just nasty. Like Archviles. A possessed Archvile is very bad news because you literally can't stop it from summoning.
And I take it the spirit enemies are a new addition to 2016,
Um,
or are they returning?
they are original. Well, it's complicated. They were called. They had the same model, but they were called the Summoners in 2016, and they were basically diet Archviles. But here they are just their own entity, but use the same model, and were introduced in the DLC.
And did they have different behavior?
Well, they possess demons now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, instead of just their own enemy that can summon enemies.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah. It depends on how they're used. I think master levels tend to abuse them too much.
Yeah.
Which, ugh. I think some of the later master levels have gotten a bit much. But that's just me. Especially in how they use summons. like a summoned, like I know the DLC does a summon tyrant, which is oof.
I know in games like this, it can be very difficult to balance waves upon waves of enemies, especially where you try and make something more difficult. It's extremely easy to just accidentally create a bunch of health sponges that are
Yes.
really not fun to fight. And if you stack a bunch of these spirit enemies, you're getting a little too close to that.
So totally
Well,
experiment with all those.
Well, here's the thing. They usually keep it to one spirited enemy. It's more or less of who's possessed one. You're
Yeah, who's being possessed by it? Gotcha. What in this case, I guess. But yeah, this game has plenty enemy variety. Use it to the fullest.
yeah. Oh yeah, carcasses are a new enemy. They spawn shields,
That's lovely.
and their AI is programmed to prioritize um, staggered enemies. And we got a tyrant.
That is cool enemy interaction. Instead of just, legions upon legions of mindless enemies. Yeah, some tactics. I think a game in general benefits from having like enemy interaction like that.
Yeah.
You have it's definitely, hard to troubleshoot and make like design correctly. But when it's done right, it makes things feel a lot more organic.
Okay. Oh, that works.
Man's jumping.
Didn't see the carcass there.
I mean, I didn't see half of it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the time it's hard to tell what's going on.
Where I blink and it's like, what am I looking at now?
Sometimes it looks like he teleports to enemies.
Phrase? Huh? I was just checking stream chat, and then what happened? Where are we? Frenetic. That's a great word to describe this game.
Very much so.
Something I know I don't hear talked about enough in the Doom community, and not that I'm very big in that community in the first place, but when I see people talk about these games, I don't hear enough conversation about the actual level designs, like the theme, and just right, not from a gameplay perspective, but from a visual perspective, how all of the set pieces are designed. And I think there are just some really cool locations in Doom. And then naturally, they look really good.
Yeah, from what I've seen of Eternal, it definitely does that a lot better than 2016. I think 2016 does look pretty good, but a lot of the environments are pretty samey.
There's a lot of red Mars and Mars base, right? Type facility 998.
Gotta give credit to Doom 64 having a really good atmosphere.
Yes.
It's always nice to be able to go back to older games and appreciate how well they handle certain aspects. Like just without, a lot of the modern features that we have available today to set atmosphere in a game. You might use music, a ton of sound, ambient sound effects, the particle effects, all this stuff. And oh boy, on the NES, how are we doing that? You're not. But you can still have games that are plenty expressive. There's just so much swapping of weapons in this game. It's just crazy. Like, as a viewer, I'm just now starting to pay attention to it. And just specifically looking for all the swaps, and it's wow. Bullet switch, bullet switch. That was actually what caused me to bring up Ultra Kill 15 minutes ago or whatever. I noticed all the weapon swapping was combo multiplier.
Yeah, I didn't get very good combos when I played that game.
Yeah, it's...
I certainly can't use the coin flipping things very well. It is fun to use, but I have to stop and deliberately
right, which kind of that hurts you in the long run.
Yeah. Best uses I have is behind a corner where the enemies can't hit me while I'm doing it.
Oh, that's good.
There he is. Okay, that helped a lot.
What difficulty are we playing on right
Nightmare.
now? Nightmare. Or that's just, and the only one higher is Ultra Nightmare, which is just Nightmare but permadeath.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot this exists.
What is it?
Full heal.
I saw the green and the red bar go all the way up, and I was like, "Oh, that's a full restore."
Yes.
Kind of helpful.
Come on. Nah, that shouldn't have taken as long as it did, but I think it's just because tired.
Oh yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah.
Please do return. 3 a.m.
It is? Oh,
It is 3
boy.
a.m. It's literally 3 a.m.
I imagine that's why Red chose that moment to say it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we are inviting horrors beyond our comprehension by doing this, but that's fine. Anything for the entertainment of the viewers at home.
Very much so.
Although apparently watching the stream isn't something a lot of people tend to do at 3 a.m. But oh well.
Yes. Admittedly, I'm generally asleep at 3 a.m.
Same.
I try to be. Don't always succeed.
Same.
I I've come there I've come to appreciate a slightly kind of rigorous schedule. Like I could certainly stay up, this late on plenty of nights, like on a whim. But there was something I just found felt nice is kind of sticking to a schedule. And crazy high school me going to bed at all random times the morning. And I got to college and was actually kind of able to keep a semi-consistent sleep schedule, surprisingly. Like opened my eyes to how like, oh, if I go to bed at like 1 or 2 and wake up at like 8 or 9 or whatever, I'm chilling. Yes, that's me talking about my sleep schedule over Doom.
Yes.
Perfect.
Ugh.
Was that a centipede demon? Is that what
That's
they're
a
called?
brand new. They're called whiplashes.
Isn't centipede demon a thing in this game? Or like in
Centipede
Doom?
demon. That's Dark Souls.
It is. Yes. For some reason, I thought it was a thing in here too. A different thing, but
Well, they're called whiplashes, but yeah.
close enough. But just not the name of it.
Where'd you go? There you are. Dread Knights are also a new enemy, but they also tend that they also have jank. Oh yeah, this is a brand new feature in this game. If you log an explosive in a Caco's mouth, it will instantly stagger.
Oh.
Which is sweet.
I mean, it helps in killing them faster.
Yeah,
I think we just appreciate that in general.
very much.
In a game like this, speed is key. Yeah, demons with riot shields. Go
That you can literally
away.
just take out.
We're not allowed to have that.
Yeah, but you can literally explode them. This thing.
And the explosion does damage.
It does a lot of damage.
And, I mean,
It can kill like
it looked like it.
Is it even protecting you at this point?
the shield guys.
It's what we call delay damage. You build it up, and then it
They're
explodes.
well, the shield guy explosion damage actually does 2,000 damage, which can take out a low level heavy, which is insane. Oh right, it's Marauder time.
And this tiny little riot shield. There have been a lot of marauders in these levels.
Eh, you haven't seen much yet. But yeah, I think I forget which master level did it, but there was a possessed marauder at one point.
Lovely.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. Oh yeah, I forgot about the invisible walls. That id Software has randomly decided to just put it's just speedrunners have not been happy with the updates that have been going on, because it's basically just putting invisible walls in spots where they speedrun.
That's rude.
It is.
And like, that's one of the things that I've never quite understood about companies and patching their games, where
Yeah.
like, sure, this thing is possible, but
Who cares if you do it?
people, right? It's people are going to do that very intentionally, and an incredibly small subset of people are going to encounter this by themselves, and it's shouldn't be that big of a deal, at least to me.
Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. Alright. Alright. You're an enemy. They count as enemies. I forgot. Cue balls.
Just one bullet.
They literally have 1 health.
Something I'm really having fun imagining in my head right now is like what it would look like to watch Doom Guy do all this weapon swapping. Right?
Yeah.
Like constantly reach in behind the back to pull out the newest demon slaying machine.
Where does he keep it on?
Right? He's got a lot of weapons. And they're heavy. I don't think I could pick up half of those.
It's always funny to imagine like just a lot of games, just how the way your character would fight just from a distance. Like even third-person games.
Mm-hmm.
Like you take a game with like Resident Evil 4, like the original, where you have tank controls and you can't move while shooting. You're looking at someone just like,
Right.
wait,
Where is this rep?
it's like it looks natural when playing, but if you were somewhere else looking at that,
I'm going to move here, and I'm going to look around. And I'm going to move again, and change my camera. And then move again.
There we go. We're working on this.
like I think I've seen some like third-person camera videos of just doing 2016, and that looked ridiculous. Can't imagine what this would be like.
Right. Yeah, and I'd be very surprised if someone hasn't made a mod of something like that yet.
Probably.
Alright, nope, not yet. Waiting for archfiles. There they are.
It's always funny to me in this game where the Slayer like does the glory kills and like shoves parts of the demon like into itself again. It's like, wow, you're being so extra. That's what you're here for.
Yeah.
But like, did you really need to rip out that Cacto demon's eyeball and shove it down its throat?
Yes.
Could have just punched it in the gullet and be done.
Alright, boss time.
I refuse. No serving the makers. Sorry. Eyeball.
cube with an eye on it.
The cube. Very intently focusing on this fight.
Yes.
I mean, you have a lot of small targets to hit repeatedly. That's something that's not gate kept me from playing games like this in the past, but I'm markedly less comfortable with, where like first person shooter style controls on a controller. I mean, in general, that's just not something that I tend to do very well with. But especially on a controller, it's just like you need to be used to that.
Yes.
I'm much better at handling a game like how FromSoft handles their camera. I actually, and which isn't great because like I tend to claw.
2 enemy blood makers. Essentially, you can't attack them unless they reveal their weak point by doing that. There we go.
Certain attack. What they
Yeah,
do.
it's any kind of attack that can destroy a weak point. You need to hit them with. So sticky bombs, ballista, precision bolt.
Gotcha.
You just gotta wait for the weak point to open up. And again, I don't like it because it's a waiting game.
Right. You're. It is cool. It's more varied enemy design, which is something to appreciate, but it does come at the cost of, well, now I just need to dodge this enemy until it decides to be vulnerable.
Yep.
We love Vega.
We do love Vega.
I know that much. I don't know that much about Doom, but I know we love Vega. Gotta admit, it's probably uncomfortable being cut in half by a chainsaw.
Yes.
Now, I've not tried it for myself, but I can imagine. I don't think I'd like it very much.
Doesn't seem like the most appealing thing.
It's like drinking paint thinner. I probably don't think I would enjoy that, but I technically haven't done it.
Oh yeah, and cyberminks are weak to very weak to
Hello, Moonbeam Magician.
oh, welcome to the stream.
Yes, hello. A lovely new chatter to talk with. Late hour.
Very late hour.
But yes, in case you were not aware, we are playing Doom Eternal, Part 1 of the Ancient Gods DLC. I have no clue how far we are into it, but
That's level.
we're in there. All right. I'm not the one playing. I had a feeling we were coming up on it, but I haven't done it. Oh,
Well, I was doing what I want.
you were at 2 HP there for a moment. Yeah, No Name Magician asks, do you slob? Apparently it's a combat tech.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, SLOB.
SLB?
SLOB. I'd love to learn about it.
Same here. Oh, thank you.
A little light on the HP right now, but
I know, it's probably blocked.
there's a lot of projectiles that's just avoided. Oh my gosh. Again, down the throat.
Well, I kind of
Apparently, the inputs for the slot are precision bolt, then fire rocket. After that, press lock on button as soon as.
Oh,
you-
that? Yeah, I don't use that too often. It's a good tech, though.
Do you know it by a different name?
No, I've never heard of it called that.
I imagine the OL is lock on. Something lock on bolt.
Precision bolt, lock on.
SLOB. Something lock on bolt, maybe. No clue. And what does that tech allow you to do?
I could probably demonstrate it at some point. There we go.
Siler lock on burst.
Ah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've seen that tech before.
Seems like a fairly straightforward piece of combat tech.
Yep.
Not terribly input heavy either. It's some good timing.
Here, I guess I could display it, right? Entry. There we go.
Was that it?
That's it.
It was specifically the getting the rocket out really quickly afterwards.
Yeah, the inputs can be a bit of a handful.
Yeah, No Name Magician mentioned that it was pretty tight.
It's tight. It's just the combination of inputs is a little bit hard to grasp.
It can just also be awkward to input a certain
Combination. Yeah.
combination of buttons. Sounds like it was the case. Ah yes. Punch the tree. We're in Minecraft.
I don't need wood though. I do need.
I mean, I could see. I love how his hand comes out when you're like wall grabbing. Just a
Yes.
single hand.
More tree punching.
I mean, this is what I signed up for. Punching trees. Call me the lumberjack.
Honestly, doesn't even need a chainsaw.
Right? I mean, his fists do the work.
I don't know if I'm going to be playing a master level later. We'll see if we have time. It's probably not going to be. It's probably either going to be the cultist based one though, because I don't want to do the other ones. I'm not in the mood to get annihilated by Terrace Nabad or what's it called? Super Gore Nest. Okay.
You went down from like 70 or 80 to 5. And it was like,
That's a whiplash for you.
yeah, as a whole, you've had some really clean gameplay tonight. It was really cool to get to see. But yeah, No Name Magician. It's not that he's not good enough to be able to do any of the master levels, but rather just a question of setup time for our next event, mostly.
Setup time and energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
'Cause
sure what time it is for you, but it's 3:26 a.m. for us.
Yes, and we have been at it quite literally all day. We're the graveyard shift. But yeah, master mode level would certainly be nice to showcase, but we might simply not have time for it. Which is what I expect to be the case. This red lightning surrounding the arena is really cool. Nice visual effect everywhere.
Oh, yeah, it is. Ugh. Playing this game is something else sometimes. This DLC in particular.
And it was very well received.
Part 2's fine. I just think a lot of the enemies they added were a lot more annoying. Like the Curse Prowler.
Unfortunate, but
It sucks, but yeah. I mean, Armored Baron isn't bad either.
ouch. Snapped his arm and brained him with it. Cursed Prowler is, objectively speaking, the worst enemy. Agreed?
I'm more in the Marauder camp for that, but
Maybe just of the worst enemy of the DLC, part 2.
maybe.
Ouch.
Really?
You just went from like 200 health to 13, like boom. Yes, what a lovely goal. Resurrect the Dark Lord.
Mm,
Not ominous whatsoever. Marauder is mainly bad because he's inconsistent
Yes.
and buggy.
yes, thank you. Those are some. I agree.
Yeah, in a game like this, I can imagine why that's really not helpful.
That's fine.
The boarding means you have like an hour left usually,
Yeah.
or at least for the normal the dual sense.
DualSense Edge is probably around the same battery life.
Otherwise, Marauder's a cool addition. Can't imagine how much programming went into him. I know I've seen clips of Marauder. Looks pretty cool from what I've seen. But again, that's not, experience with the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it looked a lot better when you don't see the inconsistency.
Yes. Okay. There we go. All right. Moving forward. I think Marauder in a one-on-one is fine. Largely, but his inconsistency and constant wait game, like playing the waiting game with him, like there are times where he will actually screw you and get you killed and it's not your fault. Because he decided to not work today. And its software intentionally kept a bug with him in it where he'll register where enemy projectiles he will block, which is not good. And they kept that in because it added a nice extra bit of depth to him, and that was a decision I do not agree with.
It's rather different. That's something different. The buffed and possessed ones are even more buggy.
Yeah,
Sounds right to me. When you expect them to flash.
especially I would say especially possessed marauders are a lot worse to deal with.
Streams full up.
Yep, just audio issues.
Okay.
Might be my capture card.
It's a really nice skybox. And just sky in general on this map. I really like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, he's almost dead.
Ooh. Such a tanky enemy.
They had 10,000 health. And it's pretty much double with the
Oh, the possessed buff.
yeah.
Yeah, I would expect the cyber game equivalent to be pretty simple.
We're not gonna worry about him because feeling that possessed. I think it's this way we're supposed to go.
plenty of splitting things in half. Just with his bare hands. And just gives you a head chop, and your head splits apart.
Yes. Okay.
With all the wrist play, but like he seems to do it with his hands easily.
If he put his mind to it, he'd just chop your head off. Like, kind of crazy.
Alright, we're at the final boss.
Very nice.
I remember should have used the BFG, but we have possessed.
If you press the mod spot button and then spam punch 3 times, you can skip the mod spot animation.
I don't know. Oh, shit.
That's an interesting animation skip. Ran away. Ah, not for long.
Of course, it didn't stun him, but whatever.
Because of course. Of course, there's a laser wall here. This is awful. Alright, man, stop being so mean. Let's look through.
I think it just kind of floats when he does that to those guys.
Right? Oh, nice, a random eyeball.
I'm just trying to take my time.
A lot more costly to die.
Well, not really, but
Still rather not. God, this is definitely a long fight.
mhm. And that's the fight. That's Doom Eternal Tab 1.
Dang.
I mean, it took me more deaths than I anticipated, but we managed to
Very
be
nice.
about 15 minutes under, which is nice and gives us time to set up. Sorry for the not as active commentary. It's a very focus intensive game, and it is also 3 a.m. It's also 3:45 a.m. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, me and Tommy aren't familiar with the game, so
yeah, I
Yeah,
know
we
none of
could
you guys are
contribute.
most familiar, but I know commentary was late. You know, they didn't even. I don't think we're gonna have much time to really do any master levels, unfortunately, because we got to do more setups. So,
You do have a bit more time. I might start something a little late.
well,
I keep my bacon.
I want to give you guys enough time to set up and all do all that stuff because it did take us like 15 minutes to get all this going too. So yeah.
Okay.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
And also, I am tired. That was enough. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised you stayed all this.
Yep. All right.
Oh,
Thank you
scheduled to.
guys for attending Doom Eternal. For those of you who were there, No Name Magician, thank you for attending, giving some tips. I think I could have done a bit better, but for what I did, I do think I was a little cleaner than I thought I was going to be. But despite some deaths, but whatever. But yes, thank you, and we will be moving on to Shantae. What is it?
And the pirates.
And the Pirate's Curse. All right. Are we ready to?
going to intermission.